Everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode on my channel. As always, I'm Jay, and today, guys, I wanted to discuss a recent Hollywood Reporter interview that Arnold Schwarzenegger did, and I want to focus on something that he ended up saying and making note of in it, which is that he is totally done with the Terminator franchise. And as a fan of film and cinema and movies, and someone who grew up religiously watching a bunch of different movies, and the least of which included Terminator 2, especially, I really feel like this is definitely one of those days that we knew was coming for a long time, but now it's been official. The man has said it himself in an interview, and you know what? I don't blame him. The franchise is not done. I'm done. I get the message loud and clear that the world wants to move on with a different theme when it comes to the Terminator. Someone has to come up with a great idea. The Terminator was largely responsible for my success, so I'll always look at it very fondly. The first 3 movies were great. Number 4, Salvation, I was not in because I was the governor. Then 5 and 6, so that's Genesis and Dark Fate, didn't close the deal as far as I'm concerned. They were just not well written. Wow. And the thing of it is that him saying that, again, it's a closing of the door, it's the end of the road. Arnold recognizes that, hey, maybe it's time to kind of continue. And the thing of it is that I think that I really agree that the first 3 Terminator films were pretty good. Now, the first one, cult classic, came out of nowhere. James Cameron directing this kind of almost horror sci-fi flick, because essentially the Terminator is like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers or any other type of nemesis that just doesn't stop, this monster killer or whoever it is. Cut to Terminator 2, one of the greatest sequels. There was so many great special effects and action sequences, and it's one of those films that was a milestone and easily one of the greatest action films in the last century, if not the greatest, some would argue. And kind of rehashes, as it were. I mean, basically it takes the same structure as the first film, where someone is sent back in time to save somebody. This time it's John Connor, who is now a young teenage boy. But the thing is that they flipped it on the script. This time, instead of the T-800 being the villain, he was the hero. And not only that, but the film dealt with a lot of themes. Third film took a more comedic turn. Obviously, it still dealt with some of the heavier themes, and the thing is that it was the first entry to not be directed by James Cameron. When we're talking about the next entry, I think I was in the minority of people who actually really enjoyed the film. I thought that the story, the setting being in the future finally, the casting of Christian Bale as John Connor, and casting Marcus Wright as Sam Worthington in his first kind of released film, and he was an up-and-coming actor at that point. I thought that they did a tremendous job, and I actually really did enjoy the kind of homages and the kind of the rhymes that they kind of did in this, mirroring some of the things in Terminator 2. After that, they went into Terminator Genesis, and I did not see it in the theaters because I said, okay, we got to leave well enough alone. We got to leave it alone. We can't be doing it. But then we cut to Terminator Dark Fate, touted as the return of Terminator to this really kind of crazy, awesome, storytelling and everything. But you get turned off within 5 minutes of the movie because what do? You kill the main reason for the Terminator franchise. You kill John Connor, and then you try and stick somebody else that we don't know and don't find very believable as a resistance fighter in the new savior. It just didn't work, and here we are. And now Arnold is basically putting it to bed. He's saying, I'm done. I'm not coming back to the franchise. The franchise isn't done, but I am done with the franchise. Yeah, so ultimately, I think that I have to agree with Arnold on this. I don't see a reason to continue it if you don't feel up to it, and if you don't feel like the last 2 parts of the franchise really delivered, even though you were a big part of it. And the thing is that it's nice that he says he'll always look back on the franchise with fond memories, because it did really kind of boost him into even more superstardom. But the thing of it is that ultimately, at the end of the day, you got to hang up your guns at some point, and it was fun while it lasted. And I think for him to put it to rest and finally say he's done with the franchise makes perfect sense. But what do you guys make of his comments on this? Do you think that he's full of crap, or do you think that he is totally done and he's not going to be returning to the Terminator franchise? And what do you make of that? Anyway, guys, that's all the time that I have for today, so thank you so much for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe if you dug the video, and if you are subscribed, hit that bell button. That way you never miss a moment of my content. But until next time, guys, as always, I'm Jay. So take care, and bye.